Howdy guys, I'm AutoEdits Jason, and as you can see, we got the Range Rover Sport in the garage today. We got a bit of routine maintenance. Oil change is on the docket. Now, we're gonna do this the way the Brits designed it today. We're gonna suck the oil out of the top of the engine. We should never even have to dirty ourselves by getting underneath to check, which is weird because of any of the vehicles I own that deserve a chassis inspection at any opportunity. This is one of them, but we're gonna do it the way this was designed. So I picked up this pneumatic oil extractor from Harbor Freight. It's a heavy duty metal one. It was on sale for 90 bucks. And I can plug in my air compressor here and adapt this thing to the actual oil pickup tube there and extract all 8.5 quarts out of this thing. We're gonna give it a try and see how it works. There are obvious benefits to this design. There's a skid pan underneath here that has like 8 bolts that need to be taken out, and it is a bit of a nuisance to even get to the drain plug, but I was still happy doing that. The cartridge filter right here, very similar to like that I'm familiar with my Jeep, is up top, and with the right tool, of course, it's a unique size. This is a 90mm socket that will work for, or cap that will work for this thing. So I had to order that special. And then that is the tube. Here's a closer look of that tube. So we're just I'm gonna use some of my brake line adapter hose and attach right to that, and then attach that to our little pump. That's the plan. So oil change service is recommended at 7,500 mile intervals on this engine. That is way too far for my comfort, and especially not knowing if the timing chains have been done on this. This vehicle now has 165,000 miles on it, and I'm gonna do what I can to make it last. And so nice 4,000 and change mile oil change is not gonna hurt anything. It's just gonna give me a little bit more peace of mind, and it's gonna be fun to try to change it in this manner. Now, an interesting note, when I got this vehicle earlier this year, I did an oil change, of course, because that's what you should do just to get your 0 point. When I drained the oil out of the bottom of this thing, I waited till everything was drained, and then I attached my brake bleeder to this thing to actually see if this tube did get everything, just to wonder. And it actually did get more than just draining out of the drain plug. So I actually do have peace of mind that this thing this little tube right here does get all of the oil out of this thing. So weirdly, I'm cool with that. It's just odd to not have to get underneath the vehicle to do this. And for me to get started, let's go ahead and pull the oil filter cap off and just have that open when we drain this thing. See, I am so glad I installed that filter housing. I just did it hand tight, and you can see that that is so much easier to get back off. It's got a gasket on there that seals it, so it doesn't need a lot of force. So let's get that off. And there is our oil filter. Everything looks great. Hasn't been leaking. You can tell if it has been leaking if it gets past this O-ring right here. And our new filter has a new O-ring here, and then obviously it will have a new oil filter. I'm a fan of these cartridge filters. These are nice. Now, this thing came with all kinds of adapters and extenders to get into oil pans. Like if you were changing the oil on your boat or taking some of the transmission fluid out of your vehicle, out of the dipstick tube, that's where these things will come in handy. I'm not gonna need that on this one because I'm just gonna connect right to that hose using some brake line bleeding tubing here and the adapter that came with it. So that'll just go on here like that, and then we'll connect the air hose to this thing here, and then the gauge will just go on up here. And I had to actually turn down, I usually run all my tools at like 90, 95 PSI. I have it down about 80, and that seems to keep it happily up at the top of the green here. So let's attach this and see what happens. All right, let's get this thing attached. This line just seems to fit just perfectly on there, nice and snug. We got pressure up to the top there. Let's go ahead and open the valve and get going. Yeah, oil is coming out. All right, I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of weird. It's just doing it. I kind of expected something, some sort of noise. I hear the air compressor kicked on, so it's definitely drawing. And, oh, there we go. All right, we're starting to see some oil show up in the bottom of this thing. We've got whatever, I have no idea what the numbers on the side of this thing mean. All right, I'm starting to hear air. So yeah, I can actually just see like it's not solid. It's foamy, airy, bubbly kind of situation up here. So let's take this off. All right, so that came off first. So you can see that, how much suction there is. It's not that much, but it's obviously effective. So let's shut that off. We can unplug our air hose here. Let's get our hose off of this thing. It's ridiculously tidy. What the heck? Okay, all right. This is a good example of being open-minded to this stuff, because that was bonkers how easy that was. Huh. And let's see, what do we get here? And it's now at the 2 here, which this is just a really basic gauge to show you how full this thing is. And it's right, so that means it's about right there. That's 8.5 quarts on this thing. And so far, well, dang, that was the easiest oil extraction I've ever done. Worth 90 bucks, I would say already. Yeah, kinda weird. I like. Okay. All right, so we'll just clean out the cap a little bit here. I have a little pick, and we'll get the old O-ring off of here. The new filter comes with a new one. I'm putting a little oil on that thing right there. Get our new oil filter, and we'll put a little bit of lube right here. That sucker goes in here, snaps into place like that. Stuff it back in, and then down it goes. There we go. Now again, this should just be, it's just finger tight. Now because it's so tucked down inside all of this ducting here, we're just gonna do it so there, it just snugged down. This is how you do it. That's it. This O-ring seals it. You're just using this to just make sure that it is flush down on there. You do not want this thing that tight, because taking it back off is a pain in the neck. Now for the fill. There is a weird sense of ease. Since we've never been under there, there's nothing to sanity check and see, oh, did I put the drain plug back in? Let me know in the comments if you've ever done that before. So we know it takes that first full 5. A little trick that I do before I get pouring is, so I do a quick mark here. This right here will be about 8.2, about. So I know that I can just heartily pour all the way down to here, and then I could start doing my checking to make sure that I don't overfill. So for now, we'll just do a big old pour. And we are right there. I am still just absolutely boggled by how weirdly easy it is. And just your brain doesn't commute without ducking underneath the car at least a few times. I'm just out of whack that we've never bent down to do anything yet. We're done. We're gonna go ahead and start it, see how it sounds. So it makes us wait about 10 minutes or so since the last time it ran before you can even access the level menu on the oil level menu on this thing. Really not a fan of that. I just want a dipstick. But what we'll do right now is we'll reset the oil service light on this thing, and that's how, just have the bonnet, as they say on this thing, hood open, door open, and then you just push the brake and the gas down, and hold that for about 10 seconds. All right, it's been officially 10 minutes. Let's give it one more try. All right, let's cycle main menu, service menu, oil level display. All right, we're right at max. Perfect. Let's start it up one more time just to hear the magna flow. So this is the MagnaFlow touring exhaust. So when you sit in traffic, it doesn't just crush your head with sound, but then when you get on it, it sounds special. And it's been just made this thing even better than it already is. It's really been a good car. I expected some sort of drama or fight here, and there just wasn't. Now all that's left to do is to just pour this into this to make it easier to get it down to my local auto parts store for recycling. But all in all, that was fun, super easy, weirdly easy, and now I'm done. And all in all, my 8 months with this thing has been absolutely amazing. It is so comfortable to sit in traffic in, and also to go fast and haul butt on the highway when you need to. So thank you so much for sticking around till this part of the video. Coming up on the channel, the Jeep mechanically is absolutely running perfect, knock on wood. It is just an absolute champ right now. My goal is to just get it back in the dirt. I have a few things I'd like to do to just kind of finesse it or tweak it a little bit more, but that's coming down right now. More trips, more wheeling on that. I have some exciting stuff coming up right away with the square body truck. Gonna just change the whole look of that thing. Might be wheels and tires and stuff. Stay tuned, we'll find out. And thank you guys again so much for watching and make it this far in the video. I truly appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button for me. And until next time, enjoy your drive. All right, how heavy is this gonna be? That's not so bad. All right, funnel time.